Welcome back for another video. The Roundup is a series on this channel that arms you with useful information to take into each game week to arrive at better decisions. This includes the top players for predicted points, the bookies odds, transfer trends and more. An accumulation of smaller but correct decisions can have a significant impact over the course of the season. If you find today's video useful, hit like on it to support the channel. I read every comment, so let me know what you thought of the Gameweek Roundup below. Enjoy the video. We'll start with the Goalscorer Odds, and the odds given are always based on the assumption that the player starts, and this is sometimes not the case. Since Goalscorer Odds aren't yet available for the second of the double, we've used FPL Review's algorithm. Kane's been given a 71% chance of scoring any time. Kane has found some form recently, scoring in 3 of his last 4 league games, and over that period he's top among all strikers for expected goal involvement on 3.41 XGI. No player has taken more than his 18 shots, 13 of which were inside the box. Kane's double consists of Arsenal and Leicester, which isn't an eye-watering fixture pairing. However, Kane has a good record against Arsenal with 11 goals and 2 assists in 14 league appearances. Leicester have been incredibly leaky this season and have many players out, so if the fixture goes ahead it looks a high ceiling game for Kane. Ronaldo is narrowly behind with a 70% chance of scoring any time in his double against Aston Villa and Brentford. Man United haven't looked good defensively under Rangnick and barely edged a win versus Aston Villa in the FA Cup. However, they travelled to Brentford immediately after Brentford's 4-1 loss to Southampton. Wood has a 65% chance of scoring any time, though there's reports he's on his way to Newcastle, so he looks in a void. Lukaku's only 9.8% owned, and if your free hit is active, he could be a huge differential pick to consider. The top 3 single game week players are José, Calvert-Lewin and Sterling, who miss out on the top 10. Onto the clean sheet odds, and there's 14 fixtures to break down this game week. The 2 in brackets represents the second fixture of that team's double game week. Liverpool are top with a 47% chance for the match against Brentford. Trent was spotted in training, which is good news for those of us who have him. Chelsea's second of their double is against Brighton, where they've been given a 44.5% chance. The next 2 matches are important wins for Chelsea before they blank in Gameweek 24 and 25, so they want points on the board before the games in hand mount up. Man City face Chelsea, but despite that are third on the clean sheet odds. Brighton are another side who double, and their first match is against Crystal Palace at home with a 37.5% chance. Burnley don't have far to travel for their double, playing both matches at home. For their second away game they face Watford and they've been given a 35% chance. Man United have a 29% chance for their first game against Aston Villa and a 37% chance in the Brentford game. The North London derby is historically an unpredictable fixture where form can be irrelevant. The bookies have given Tottenham a 27.5% chance of a clean sheet and Arsenal a 25% chance. Rock bottom on the clean sheet odds this week is Brentford, who travel to Anfield after their 4-1 loss to Southampton. They have a 12% chance, followed by Leeds with a 15.5% chance for their trip to West Ham. Thank you as always, so check the chance for the bookies odds. Onto the predicted points, which combines a total of both fixtures, and Kane is top with 9.1 predicted points. Spurs have looked an improved side offensively recently. Over their last 4 matches played, they rank 3rd best for expected goals on 9.48 XG. However, Son will be a big miss. Ronaldo comes in second on the predicted points with 7.7. Over the last 4 game weeks he has an expected goal involvement of 3.14, which ranks 4th among all strikers. He's likeliest to be the most captain in the double with over 30% ownership. He was missing in Man United's FA Cup side that beat Aston Villa, with Rangnick citing a minor muscle problem, so as always we'll pay close attention to the presses before making any decisions. Shaw is suspended for the first of Man United's double, so Tellers looks in line for a start, though he could miss the second. Lukaku and Josh King are tied on 7.1 predicted points for their respective doubles, followed by the goalkeepers De Gea and Sanchez. Mount and Alonso make the top 10, however the City match played away on Saturday will be a very testing fixture and they look likely to get something out of the Brighton match played on Tuesday. On to the most transferred in players, and top this game week is actually a single game week player, Diogo Jota. This might be testament to the nature of this double where there aren't many standout picks and there's no teams you feel you must own 3 players from. One of the recurring themes on these videos all season is that we must make our moves late, which wasn't the case for the 395,000 managers who have brought in Son already. Arsenal are one of 3 teams with 3 fixtures to reschedule, or in other words they're guaranteed at least 3 double game weeks, and Saka is the 3rd most transferred in, which could be a very good ahead of the curve pick. Beyond the double that West Ham played in Gameweek 21, their fixtures look good with Leeds next, though they're one of 3 teams without any fixtures to reschedule. Maddison is the 10th most bought player, however their last match was postponed due to being unable to field enough senior players, so this will be another thing to monitor before making moves. He looks one of the best options for the double, particularly with Son no longer an option. On to the most transferred out, and over 1.1 million managers have sold Salah, who is now away at the African Cup of Nations and expected to miss the next 2 or potentially 3 game weeks. Egypt lost their opening match, though they are expected to progress out of their groups into the knockouts. Over 300,000 have sold James, who is out with a long-term injury, and Son is the 3rd most sold, but he was the 2nd most bought. Mendy and Benrahma are both away at the African Cup of Nations too, and appear in the top 10. It's surprising to see Dennis, who was spotted back in training and has perhaps the best double game week fixtures of all the teams who double this game week. Vardy's been sold by over 100,000 managers, and Leicester look in a desperate situation up top with Vardy injured, Iheanacho at AFCON and Daka flagged. We'll finish the roundup as always with the captaincy poll results. Thanks to everyone who voted on the poll on our Discord. If you'd like to join, a link's in the description. The results are in and they are as follows. It's one of the most spread game weeks for captaincy this season. Ronaldo comes out on top with just 32.1% of the vote. King and Dennis come in 2nd and 3rd respectively with 25% and 17% of the vote. Watford face the 2 teams directly below them, so they must win games for all 3 teams, and the Watford forwards could be in line for a great game week if they do come out on top. Kane gets a relatively low 7.6% of the vote considering he's top for predicted points, and it could be a ticket up the ranks considering his low ownership. Jota and Trent get a few votes despite their single game week. Elsewhere, a few votes for Fernandes, Mount, De Gea and Lukaku. Thank you for watching this Game Week's episode of the Roundup. If you found it useful, please hit like to support the channel and hit subscribe if you're new. I read every comment, so as always I'm keen to hear your thoughts.